Hello everyone, Merry Meet. I hope you all are doing well. I wanted to come on here and give a very quick astrological update to let you know what energy influences that, we can expect coming up. So I want to let you know that you're not going crazy, okay? There's so many energies that's going on, and it's super intense. There's a lot of us going through a lot right now, a lot. And this has nothing to do with gas prices and whatnot. A lot of sensitives have been going through a lot. Many of you may have been feeling isolated, alone, lonely, and maybe because, of the circumstances that we've been over, you've been around people who do not understand who you are and understand how you see the world. And maybe you just feel like you're pushed out, or maybe even orphaned, in some instances. And maybe you have just been feeling like, what is your purpose? Why are you here, right? So there's a lot. And I really want to stress right now that we really need to be conscious about where we are and our environment, where we find ourselves. The strawberry or mead full moon that we had was beautiful, had beautiful energy. And I know some people's like, with everything going on, how can this be beautiful? But that's just it. There is beauty in this world. And it's how we perceive, how we choose to perceive. So the moon now is in Capricorn, and we'll be moving into Pisces at 7:01 p.m. today, and I'm recording this on June the 17th. So around the 16th, Venus conjunct the North Node, and that's very important because Venus is about what we value, what we love, what we cherish. And this is all in Taurus, which is Venus's home placement. So this is very loving energy. Now, I do want to add, and I will talk about this in a longer video regarding astrology, my weekly astrology that I do, the next one. The nodes will be going retrograde, and you know that Saturn is retrograde right now as well. So we've got the summer solstice that's coming up on the 21st. That is also when the sun will move into the sign of of Cancer. Woo, almost got that one completely wrong. So the sun is moving in the sign of Cancer, which is really going to add a lot of love to, more love into this energy, and that more nurturing type of energy. So also, the sun will be in Aries that day. The moon will be in Aries that day as the sun is in Cancer. So this will be some really good energy. The summer solstice, which is known as Litha, it is our midsummer. It is when the sun is at his zenith, and this is when the sun god is king. He is as high as he will go. So we're looking at, with everything combined, we're really looking at karma right now, and we see karma happening. One thing that we don't really understand in this world is some of the natural laws that we have. We have a law of cause and effect, and we don't really understand that until we do something, and like we slam the car door too fast and we slam our hand in that. Or, if we take our cup off and we take the cup like that, it's going to pour down us. You know, our actions causing something to happen. I'm trying to be very simple. But when we do things, not always does something happen right at that moment. It could be a choice that you make or a decision that you make that takes you on a different course. So that instance, it could be, you know, this happened because, you know, you chose this and you chose this, meaning that every little decision that you make, there is an outcome, and it may not be right away. It may be down the road for a bit, but all of your actions will have consequences. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't grasp, whether or not, you know, they were raised that way or not. A lot of people were raised that way, and still they have problems with that concept. They've never been held responsible for their deeds, for their actions. I had to take a drink of water. My allergies have been bothering me lately. Sorry about that. Now, Mars is still moving through his sign. Remember, he met up with Chiron, which is really focusing on healing the self. And, you know, Chiron represents the wounded masculine. And in our world, we see this all the time, women versus men and this and that. And it's always one versus the other. But in doing so, if we remember that we're all a part of this web of life, we understand that that actually hurts us. The masculine will be wounded as well. A lot of people do not want to see that, but there is a wounded masculine that is out there, one that is, you know, not sure where they stand. And right now, how things are going, the masculine and the feminine really don't know where they stand. And this is the importance of Venus and Mars, our celestial divine masculine and feminine. They're in their home signs to remind us who we are. Venus is the soul coming into embody the life. She's embodying this. This is about bringing ourselves down. You know, when Mars met up with Chiron, you know, this is really focusing on healing, but not in the traditional ways that were always done. This is about looking deeper and doing something that is more natural to our bodies instead of foreign. Now, Venus conjunct the North Node, and Mars conjunct Chiron. Now, this is very important because this North Node is where we're going, and Venus represents our soul. So this is about our soul becoming this physical body. This is teaching us that it's so very important to live in balance with the natural law, to live in balance with Gaia. To develop, you know, and they even call the wisdom Sophia. When you study the Gnosis and the Gnostics and the Rosicrucians and all sorts, we speak of like the Sophia. And the Sophia is like the embodiment of that truth. So, and when we think about the myth of Adam and Eve, because that is our masculine and feminine, that was that patriarch coming through. That was the patriarch placing that divine feminine beneath him, as saying it's always the woman that is the temptress, and that she will lead men astray. You know, Adam's apple, right? reminder. Now, this is really dynamic energy, and it's really intense, but it's really calling for that harmony to come back. You can imagine a pendulum, right? And it's swinging from side to side, and each side represents the extremes. And with what is going on, you know, we see those extremes happening, right? But this is saying that, hey, we need to come more to the center, and that's what we need to aim to do, is to come to the center. Now, the dynamic of the Adam and Eve myth is that it brought shame and guilt to us. And it brought shame and guilt for the natural human nature. They were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. They were, you know, they realized that they were naked. So that led to the shame and guilt, and that road leads to I am not worthy. And you know, this has been going on. This has really been going on since ancient days. This is not something new. This has been going on since ancient days, like 6,500 years ago. So, you know, this is a lot of chaotic energy, and things are in flux. And we know this, and that's Saturn in Aquarius, because Aquarius is looking forward. Saturn is saying, no, we got to have these boundaries. So it's just all this flux that's going on. And Saturn will be in Aquarius until, I believe, March of next year of 2023. And what Saturn is doing is Saturn is reconstruction. He's reconstructing society. He's rebuilding this. Now, about around 3 months ago, Venus actually conjunct, I should say, Saturn. And now she's at a square with him, because as I said in my last one, this Saturn was square the nodes. Well, you know, Venus is now square Saturn. So this is about embodying a new structure. And, you know, she was conjunct with him, she met up with him, and now she's squaring him. So this is something new. And, you know, Saturn, it is our commitments, it's our responsibility, but it's also that guilt and that shame, as well as judgment. Saturn is going to give that judgment from, and this is like from external, not from the self, but from external means. And we're seeing this, you know, media is the biggest one of it. The cancel culture, you know, all of that kind of, those circumstances, social media, this is like what I see on there. Young girls, oh my goodness. There's constant diets, constant, get this to look pretty. You're never, you know, you're never enough. That unworthiness, that never enough. Yeah, that stems from that. That stems from that. That's a lower vibration. That stems from Saturn, that guilt and judgment and shame of not being good enough. So Venus in Taurus, and you know, this represents the soul coming home, coming home to the physical body. And this is of joy and of nature and what we have here to experience. Taurus's goal is to appreciate the physical world, to appreciate the beauty, to embody that. And squaring Saturn, that when Saturn represents those boundaries, that can lead to a bit of depression, maybe feeling down, insecure, that sort of stuff. Because Saturn is really being a mirror to us. He's being a reflection. And right now we're really being asked what creates our security. What creates our security, and is it our job? Does our job create our security? Does money? We are being led to be self-sufficient. There is so many people that are waking up to become entrepreneurs. They're starting their own jobs. They're doing this, and they're taking their lives in their hands. They're growing their own food. Again, that is that Uranus and Taurus, new ways to make money, new ways for food, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're being led to be self-sufficient. And you know, the sun in Gemini is square right now, square Neptune. And when this happens, we see that illusion, right? We're seeing that illusion. But now the sun is also trining Saturn, and this is going to help us find our security. So, and this is telling us that we need to, with the sun squaring Neptune and trining Saturn, it is leading us to find the security within ourself, within our soul, our infinite self, our infinite nature, our you know, that infinite soul that we have that incarnates and comes back again and again. And you know, we've been here before. We may not have been here in this lifetime, but our soul has experienced that in the past. Through our history books, we see the cycles that Earth has, different nations coming and going, and the transitioning that happens. We have to understand that we're more than that. With the South Node in Scorpio, this is about, you know, this is telling us that when we attach to something, when we attach emotionally to something outside of us, we are going to, we can experience loss and abandonment. Many times things don't go our way, and they're really not meant to in that sense, because we are more than that. We're more than our material possessions. We have to understand what our eternal infinite self is, what our soul is. We have out here this one versus that one, and this one versus that one. And guys, we got to stop and see the bigger picture here. And that really was what the full moon was about. The full moon was about seeing that, having that bigger vision, that where are we going? We have to understand that. And I believe this. More people that talk to me and come to me, we are waking up. There's more people that are waking up and becoming self-aware and wanting to tap into that subconscious and do that shadow work to heal the ancestral wounds, to, you know, stop the to stop toxic behaviors within themselves, to, you know, to end that. So when we become more self-aware, we start understanding how the energy is here, and we understand that we are just a part of this web, or what do they call it, the tapestry of life. We are a single thread. We are but a single thread in the tapestry of life. And that is something we have to realize, because from the time of, say, 6,500 years ago, there was a blanket that was laid down. And this is, you know, it kind of kept us from growing spiritually and knowing who we are. Because you see, power, true power, comes from our connection to Source. And to understand that we are just an extension of that. Now that, I know that Neptune in Pisces is about illusion. It's about, you know, I call it the Hollywood. But it's also about remembering that we are energetically all connected. We're individual, yes, but we're all connected. And the sun, you know, being squared the sun, it's about breaking out of the static that is happening, all of this drama that's going on, that's trying to distract us from what's real. I pulled a card in the reading that was a picture of, oh my goodness, I'm going to try to find this. I think it's right here on the top. And this is exactly what, right here, fairy tales. This is exactly what, I don't know if you see it, I've got the light on, there you go. You see how she's pulling herself out of the muck, but something that she is externally connected to, attached to, is trying to pull her back. She's trying to sever that. Now, that may not necessarily be a person, but this is just, it's like releasing that illusion of the fairy tale of how you thought it should be. And in getting rid of this total facade of things that you were led to believe. It's about coming back to ourselves and being simple again, because we're getting too caught up in drama. We're getting too caught up in that chaotic static that just goes around and around. It's not, it's stagnant energy. It doesn't go anywhere. And you know, the thing of it is that I've heard before, because, you know, I'm looking at this card. Sorry, I'm looking at the card. But, you know, I've heard before that, you know, you really can't lose what you've never truly had. And that really sets in for this energy that's happening. And, you know, while we're here on this earth, we're just passing through this time. We're just passing through. And we have to understand that we are just visitors here. We're just visitors here. And when we live so far into our ego, we forget our bigger purpose here. And we you know, healing of this masculine and feminine energy and getting this connection back together. This is wonderful, wonderful energy. And Jupiter, Jupiter in Aries, wanting you to start something new, and he's blazing. He is just blasting good energy through Aries to the self, and trying to give you that confidence, and trying to remind you of the beauty and joy you are meant to experience life. And it's okay to want your highest good. It's okay to want certain things. But we have to understand what is within us and what is outside of us. You see, Jupiter does want the highest good for you. And the highest good for you may not be owning every single person, every single color, or having a different type of vehicle for every different day. Chiron, he's going to be bringing up some stuff that we haven't looked at in a while, maybe something we've put in a back burner, and it could cause a lot of energetic overload. You may feel emotionally overwhelmed and vulnerable, as there could be some fears that start erupting at this time. Again, setback. The ultimate goal of Chiron is to heal you, to have you to learn to accept yourself for who you are, and just to love you. Now, I want to say here, Saturn, where he's at, Saturn is about timing as well. So when he is having these, when the conversation that he is having with the sun, he's also reminding us that, there is a certain time that work is going to be needed. And, the biggest thing, Saturn always gets, he always gets the bad rap, right? He's always, oh God, Saturn. But Saturn is our father. He is the one that does draw those boundaries. But he is also the one that teaches self-mastery. And that is very important. As things go at a certain time, there are steps. There are steps that we need to take to master ourselves, to find our soul's purpose, to, live the life that live the nice, healing, harmonic life that we want to heal. With this, like, for example, there's a lot of us out there that do stuff, and me included, I'm calling myself out there, of things that I know how to do, and I'm talented to do them, and I'm qualified to do them, and they can help people, but yet I don't. It's like doing that, I don't know. I feel like since the market is so flooded with certain things, it's just you kind of want to pull back, but that's not it. It's about expressing that that part of ourself, because everyone is unique, and we offer that own unique energetic expression. So this is really it's really important to take these aspects of yourself seriously. They may not be mainstream. You may not be a CEO of some, a Fortune 500 company, but you could be an awesome energy healer that, can help people with their chakras and balance their own energies and help them heal from the inside out. You could do that, and that is beautiful. Now, speaking of that spiritual, beautiful energy, Neptune's energy is here to help us imagine what could be. That helps with our dreams. That helps with bringing, we have to have our dreams in order to manifest. So, he's saying, hey, you need to trust more, to trust yourself more. That stuff that was lost, it's there, bring it back. This is a time, Neptune in Pisces is a time of spiritual expansion. And, with this, he's been there since 2012 time frame. And that is when he entered Pisces. And from that moment, that was all about a spiritual expansion. And we're seeing this. We're seeing this. We are seeing people wake up every single day. A lot of people think, oh, I think I'm empathic, because no, then they don't understand what the clairs are, clairsentient, clairaudient, so forth. So, this is wanting us to develop those inner skills that we have, develop those natural abilities that we have. So, to, expand beyond our body and mind, that we're more. We're just so more. So pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to, if you meditate, pay attention to the visions you get, and so forth. Now, I will say this. I will say we have to be very careful here, because we all want to stay on Neptune. Neptune is like, it's Hollywood. It's our fantasy, and everything is great with Neptune. Everything is happy. We are sitting on the beaches. We're drinking our mimosas in the morning. We're getting our massage, but so you see, Neptune can be like escapism, because in that shadow, that goes into addictions. So we can't escape from what's going on. We have to face those fears, but we have to walk through them. That's our experience, is walking through that. So, yeah, a lot of people are spiritually growing, they're evolving, they're opening up to different parts of themselves. They're waking up consciously, and, this is, it's like your brain is coming online more. There's more people getting that heart and mind cohesion, working together with that, tapping in, seeing that they're, mind, body, soul aspect. They're eating better. Things that we are awakening, energies that have been dormant within us. So, those things, and I want to point this out, these things that have been shut down within us, like our natural abilities, the clairs, the intuitive or psychic, those types of things, those things were consciously shut down within us. Now, and that is what happens. This energy that's been shut down, it's been controlled, and this is all of society, not just a select few, but all of society. It's so we can be easier controlled. When you take somebody's inner power away, you control them better. When you put them in a state of fear and anxiety all the time and just staying in survival mode, well, then they're more easily controlled and manipulated than if they're not. So this is when we're not in touch with our own power, when we're not tapped in and tuned in, we are losing our power. So we cannot access our gifts. So now the energy shifts are happening, and it's allowing ourselves to blossom. They're saying that the children that are born right now are born online. They are born online and ready to go. They are tapped in, they're tuned in, they're so those that are having children right now, please nurture that. Please nurture that spirituality within them. But please know, guys, that this is I know it seems so chaotic and crazy, and there's a lot of cycles ending right now. There's so many cycles ending. Jupiter just ended a 12-year cycle. That's why he's back. He's in Aries. He has begun a new cycle. Mars is in Aries. He's beginning a new cycle. They all had to come out of those waters of Pisces, and they've had to enter into this push forward of Mars that is telling us, hey, we need to balance our masculine and feminine energies. We need to have some great healing happening here. We need to get past all of this BS with this versus this and this versus this. We need to grow up and understand that we're all here together. We need to get along. Not everybody has the same opinion that you do, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. There's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger picture here. We have so much technology. We are so advanced, yet how evolved are we? It's about coming out of that and stepping up and walking away from illusions, walking away with what, from what tried to hold us back and take our power away from us, just to control us and to keep us in fear. This is about rising up and being all of you. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please stay safe and know that you're not alone. You are never alone. We need to seek out our own tribes. If you are not with the people that love you and appreciate you, and sometimes those are our families, our blood families, and we can't get away from them, you can love them from afar. I don't ever say just write family out, because family is family, but different people have different circumstances, and that's okay. But take your power back. Harness your energy. Stop giving your energy away to things that just drain you, and take your power back. Take back who you are and learn how to use your gifts. What are you talented at? If you don't know, find out. Find out. So I wish you all a wonderful weekend, many blessings, and merry part we merry meet again.